Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be covering multiple support blocks. So I'm going to try and cover as many different things that I've discovered while testing things out here. And basically with all the other physics videos I was only doing it off of one support. So as we know, wood frames, if you've been following along with these physics videos, can only hold 6 of itself with one support. So again, if I were to put any more on here, that would collapse. Now if I had another support 6 blocks away, that will allow you to create a large beam here. And of course I can walk on this and nothing would happen. It would stay standing. Now if I were to add one more block onto here, or remove this block here, or any block over here, this whole side would collapse. Well, the whole thing would collapse pretty well. So let me just demonstrate there. So when you're working with multiple supports of the same material, it is cumulative, and what I mean by that is they add together. And one thing I forgot to mention, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you know that this is the maximum amount you can place with 2 supports. And to prove that they add together, I took one block away and I could add one more. However, any more than that and it will fall down. So when it comes to more than one support, basically you just add them together. And hopefully that helps you out. So I can demonstrate that with one pillar as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now if I were to go over here, in the first video I showed that each one was independent of each other, meaning they would each have their own max load on every side. So that was 2, 3, and 4. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now with all of these added together, I should be able to hold 2 more blocks, which I have accomplished there. That allows us to make wood frames hold out 8 blocks, and you can walk on this and everything is fine. Now while doing this, I discovered in the very first video that you could only walk on 8 blocks for the metal ones, but while testing this out here I discovered that holds true for any block actually. So any unsupported blocks over 8 cannot support a player's weight. Seems to be a hidden little rule within the game. So let me just show that this is actually 9. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. And if I were to try and walk on the 9th block, the exact same thing happens like with metal. So now there is a total of 24 blocks on here. That is the maximum amount of wood frames that these 3 sides can support. So if I were to try and add one more, every single one of them would fall down. And that goes the same as over here. And if I were to take away this one here, all of the ones that were over the max load for those 2 supports combined will fall down. Oh, cool, we can hear the airdrops again. But, so the ones that can be supported usually stay, but the physics doesn't always work out as planned in this game, I've noticed. So now, I had a question about blocks of different materials being joined by their supports there. And it doesn't function the same way. So now 4 times 5 is 20, and the max load of the wood frame is 24. I am able to put an extra 20 weight on there. However, anything more than the rest comes crashing down. Now if I were to try and make this one a little bit longer, the same holds true. However, it can hold a little bit more because there wasn't as many wood frames. So now, with that in mind, mixing materials is never really a good idea. However, if you want to take in the benefits of metal but you don't want to use all metal blocks, you can do something like I've done here with whichever blocks that you choose, and just have metal on the top. So if you remember, you can hold 8 unsupported blocks without the blocks falling down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could continue going along if I wanted to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I put that one there, I actually haven't tested this out yet. That one was 1 block too far. So yeah, the 8th block did actually fall down. So now, when I try and walk on this, every single one of these blocks should stay. Now of course I would not suggest building like this, as soon as one of your supports go down, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. I think that's 16. Let's just double check here. So, this is 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah. Like I said, sometimes the physics doesn't work as intended. So I guess if this happened, you could just shore it up again. Mind you, you couldn't walk past 8 blocks, but it would be okay. And I can do the same with concrete as well. Now let's see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So there's 10 unsupported blocks out there, and this is just to show that you can only walk on 8 blocks. So with that in mind, you can do some pretty crazy things with one metal support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now each side of this can hold a 320. So 8 is 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 320 plus 160 is 480. This thing can hold 960 mass in total. Sorry, I just had to do some math there. So we're at 480 right now, and I can show you that all of this you can walk on. Now, remember how I keep saying that the 8th block cannot, the 9th block cannot be walked on. So if you watch the farming video, this one right here is the support block. So how that would work is this would be counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the next one, if I were to build on this side, would be right there. So let me show you. So 480, 5, 520, 540, 560, 586, 620, 640, 660, 680, 7, 720, 740, 760, 780, 800, 820, 840, 860, 880, 9, and 920. This is the maximum amount of blocks that these... It's considered 3 supports since it's on 3 sides. And for whatever reason, it is actually able to hold the maximum amount. It wasn't supposed to hold that extra one there. But yeah, I wouldn't really test this out too much, but this just goes to show you why some blocks can hold more than expected, because it takes in all 3 sides in this case, and eventually it will fall. And that actually brought up an interesting concept for me as well, is since metal can hold more than concrete, I was able to get this concrete support to hold up all this weight. And I can still, whoops, I can still walk on it too. Plus I'm getting chased around in the city here. I should have turned the zombies off, but that's alright. So how I accomplished that is by aiming correctly. Was by having this top block as metal and destroying it. So, if I were to have my metal block here, this is the maximum amount of weight that that metal can hold. So, however, if this happened to your base, you are able to repair it without everything coming crashing down. However, as soon as another block changes, everything else comes down. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you have a lot of metal supports. But if you have more than one, you should most likely be on the safe side. So now, I just thought I would show off this little PvP trick that I thought about. So we know that you cannot walk on any blocks more than 8. So what you could do, this is if your base is discovered, you could have a little walkway, and on the 9th or however many blocks you could have landmines underneath, since, you know, they're pretty easy to spot and you can pick them up. So that doesn't really help that much, unless you were to walk and you wouldn't know about it, and that could happen there. And of course their big does not survive. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, if it helped you out, press that like button there, and subscribe for more awesome tutorials daily. Bye bye.